well-respected businessman. He was the Miami Marlins president for like 16 years in Major League Baseball. He has a business sports show with the former CEO of ESPN, John Skipper. And he was on the Dan Le Batard show, and guess what? They were talking about the WNBA. All right? And, of course, we found out yesterday afternoon the WNBA Players Association voted to authorize a potential strike. In other words, they could now strike at any.
The second day of USA basketball training camp commenced in Durham, North Carolina, with Caitlin Clark continuing her participation alongside the assembled roster. Initial observations from the first day's activities showed moderate interest levels, with viewer engagement and social media metrics appearing lower than anticipated across various platforms announcing the Team USA roster. Questions surrounding women's basketball's current momentum have emerged, with noticeable shifts in enthusiasm compared to peak interest periods. Several factors may contribute to this trend, including ongoing CBA negotiations that leave the 2026 WNBA season's status uncertain. This uncertainty could affect fan investment and viewership patterns during the offseason.
Voted to authorize a potential strike. In other words, they could now strike at any time. We have also found out that the WNBA owners have a new offer on the table. And I got to tell you, if the players don't take this offer, they're idiots. They're idiots. There's no excuses, because by the time you get to the final year of this offer, the final year of this deal that's on the table, the max players are making.
Clark addressed media members, confirming she feels completely healthy and prepared for competition. During her remarks, she reflected on her USA basketball journey, recalling experiences from the U16 level when coaches discussed the senior national team, a dream destination for young athletes in the program. She noted that typically, only 1 or 2 players from youth teams eventually receive invitations to senior camps or roster opportunities. Given the caliber of athletes who have represented the program throughout its decorated history, Clark's USA basketball path has included both roster selections and cuts, providing perspective on the program's competitive depth and sustained excellence. Numerous exceptional athletes have worn the national team uniform, earning multiple gold medals across international competitions.
Offer the final year of this deal that's on the table, the max players are making what you're making in Project B, $2 million. And the minimum salary, we're talking, I mean, this is more than fair. But if it is truly the revenue sharing angle the players want, before we get to the specifics of what has been offered, if it is truly the revenue sharing part that the players want, David.
She emphasized the importance of never taking such opportunities for granted while expressing excitement about beginning this new competitive cycle. Footage released from the second training day featured multiple players, including Sonia Citron, Angel Reese, Cameron Brinkley, and Aaliyah Boston. Observations noted Citron's physical resemblance to Clark, while highlighting Boston's continued development since her collegiate career. Practice clips revealed strong performances from several participants. Paige Bueckers demonstrated particularly impressive skills, with her mid-range shooting ability drawing comparisons to elite players.
Revenue sharing part that the players want. David Sampson said players are not going to get it, and the owners will end the WNBA.
Really trying to get a landing spot for tons of issues, not just housing or minimums or tagging a percentage of revenue.
If the players are not going to move on a revenue split versus derived revenue share off of a fixed number, what is your opinion on what happens?
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. There's not going to be
Her movement and shot selection appeared polished and refined. Boston also showed well in the available footage, indicating solid preparation heading into camp. Clark was captured in various drills, including coming off screens and working through offensive sets. The footage showed players executing fundamental team concepts and individual skill work.
Maybe the end of the WNBA. The players will move. There's not going to be a fixed number. It doesn't make sense to me for the WNBA to demand that, for the players to demand that right now. I understand. The biggest thing they did wrong, they said this is their moment. And so they've put a lot of pressure on themselves to make huge changes in the collective bargaining agreement because this is their moment. What you try to do is make incremental benefits through the course of multiple agreements.
That's exactly.
Media presence at the Durham facility proved substantial, with multiple credentialed reporters, including ESPN's Alexa Filippo and Annie Costabile, documenting activities. This represents increased coverage compared to initial reports suggesting limited media access on day one. Assessment of Team USA's competitive standing suggests strong favorability in international competition. The assembled talent pool appears significantly superior to other national programs, with depth across all positions.
Benefits through the course of multiple agreements.
That's exactly what your boy said. Me. They're trying to go for too much at one time, especially involving a league that's never turned a profit. Get your salary increase and then revisit in 3 years, after the owners have actually put a profit in their pockets for the first time because of your media rights deal. Let the owners actually make some money, because he makes it real clear. Like, if you listen to this,
the combination of veteran leadership and emerging talent creates a formidable roster capable of dominating international opponents. The overall quality displayed during practice sessions reinforces expectations for continued American dominance in women's basketball at the global level. Physical attributes, skill development, and tactical execution all indicate a substantial gap between USA basketball and international competition. Additional footage throughout the training period will provide further insight into roster evaluation, chemistry development, and individual player progression as the selection process continues toward final roster determination for upcoming international competitions.
Owners actually make some money, because he makes it real clear. Like, if you listen to this whole thing, he makes it very clear the owners want to be paid back for all the money they've lost over the years. And I don't blame them. It's debt.
And so I don't think they should have gone for everything they're going for right now, because they put themselves in a corner where they feel like they have to get it, or it's like a major loss.
What did you say on the front end of this?
He said the end of the WNBA.
What are you saying is going to happen if...
let's be clear, Dan. People are not talking about this enough. We talked about it on the sporting class.
After an extended break from competitive action, Caitlin Clark made her highly anticipated comeback at the USA basketball training camp. The wait for her return to the court has felt incredibly lengthy for basketball enthusiasts. Video clips and statements from the training facility have started circulating, offering glimpses of the star player back in action. Footage captured Clark alongside Aaliyah Boston as they entered the training facility for the women's national team camp.
Going to happen if...
let's be clear, Dan. People are not talking about this enough. We talked about it on the sporting class. And obviously, you know, John Skipper's involvement in Unrivaled, but you also have talked about what Project B is. You understand there are players who are getting paid multi-millions of dollars to go play in another league in another country. This is the moment. If you had any ability to invest and you wanted to start a league to compete with the WNBA, this is the time. Every player is a free agent. All of them want money and need money.
The Indiana Fever teammates, often compared to legendary duos in basketball history, arrived together at the venue. The anticipation for the upcoming season continues to build with each passing day. Practice clips revealed Clark in various scenarios on the hardwood. One sequence showed her in transition, racing down court before stopping and launching a successful jump shot.
I want a new commissioner. Two, now I'm not saying that's part of the reason that's holding everything up, but the WNBA owners released a statement yesterday claiming that they're willing to do revenue sharing. They're willing to do all of these things for these WNBA players, except, you know, pay for housing and stuff like that. Now, the deal that they put on the table it's $1 million max salary. Regular salaries is around $417,000, and pretty much
the demonstration of her signature shooting ability brought back memories of what makes her such a captivating athlete to watch. Additional footage displayed her pulling up for another successful attempt, showcasing the quick release shooting that has become her trademark. Defensive drills were also part of the session, with Clark participating in exercises that appeared to involve male practice players. One sequence captured a turnover she created. highlighting her two-way capabilities.
Regular salaries is around $417,000, and pretty much I think it's a $200,000 incentives, which mean that the Supermax is probably 1.2 million or somewhere up in that range. Now, with that being said, that was the latest agreement. The women has decided to decline that agreement. Contact the WBPA, let them know that we want to potentially have a strike. Now, supposedly 3% of players did not vote for this strike. So it was like 98% of the players voted for the strike, except for like a couple.
Another clip showed her handling the basketball, moving around the perimeter, penetrating toward the basket, and distributing passes to teammates. The chemistry between players was evident, particularly in moments shared between Clark and Kelsey Plum during the session. Regarding the ongoing collective bargaining agreement discussions and potential work stoppage concerns, Clark offered extensive remarks. She acknowledged this represents the most significant negotiation period in league history and stressed its critical importance.
Percent of the players voted for the strike, except for like a couple of them. Now, some people were saying Caitlin Clark is one of the people that is holding out. I can't say that she is or she isn't. Nothing has definitively come out confirming that Caitlin Clark is the player that has not signed to go on strike. I've been adamant about this, that I believe they don't need a strike. I believe they need to figure it out and make sure they keep the season and bring us back to WNBA. You know, the deal that they got is substantially better than.
According to her perspective, the situation demands careful handling because fans desperately want to see games played. The product on the floor generates revenue, builds markets, and creates the excitement that drives attendance and viewership. Clark emphasized that while the negotiation process involves business considerations, both parties must find middle ground. As the deadline approaches, the stakes have intensified.
Better than what they got. They're giving them $200,000 more, bro. I think the max right now is like 200 and some change. The average salary is going to be $417,000. The max is going to be $1 million. That is a substantial difference, plus a little bit of the revenue sharing. Now, should the ladies sign this new proposal? Yes, they should. Will they sign it? I don't think so. But for whatever reason, in their minds, they think that they're worth more than what they.
She expressed willingness to contribute however possible and has worked to understand the complex issues involved. While unable to speak for every league member due to the intricacies of the situation, she identified certain demands worth fighting for without wavering, while recognizing other areas where flexibility might be necessary. Her statement highlighted this as a pivotal moment for the league and stressed the importance of not losing sight of that significance. Finding a path forward to ensure games are played next season matters not only for current fans but also honors those who built the league before this generation.
They think that they're worth more than what they actually are. And I'm here to tell you guys, they ain't, man. These owners are doing everything they can. I got red stuff all over my hands. Are doing everything they can to make sure we have a WNBA season. Now, I'm here to tell you, bro, it don't look like we finna get one. Well, one NBA expert went on record, man, and stated that, you know, these owners and stuff, they tired of playing.
This measured response stood out for its recognition that successful negotiations require give and take from both sides. The commentary about her statement noted its sophistication and strategic thinking. The explicit mention of compromise appeared unique among player statements thus far. Understanding that both sides need flexibility to reach an agreement demonstrates awareness of negotiation fundamentals that haven't been as prominently featured in other public comments from athletes.
They tired of playing hardball with these ladies. Now, this is from the Lee Bart show. Hope I see it.
I don't think Adam Silver has any interest in pegging it to a percentage at all. And Adam Silver addressed the media during the League Cup final in Vegas and said that he'll get involved if they want him to. But here's the surprise. He's been involved from the beginning. What he was saying is, will I go to the actual table? You don't need the commissioner of the NBA to be at this table at any time. But what they've done is they've extended.
Her lengthy discussion of the bargaining situation proved somewhat unexpected but underscored her influence in these conversations. Among all voices in this process, hers carries particular weight. The awareness she demonstrated regarding fan expectations, their desire to watch her compete, reflects the reality of her impact on the sport. The excitement generated by mere practice footage, simple shooting drills, and defensive exercises during training camp exceeded much of what captured attention after her season concluded.
You don't need the commissioner of the NBA to be at this table at any time. But what they've done is they've extended the deadline first by 30 days, 40 days. So it's been a total of 70 days, which all you're doing is delaying a work stoppage. You want to get to that work stoppage because that's a legal term of art. You want to get to some sort of lockout or strike so then it can go to the next stage of these negotiations. But the biggest misunderstanding here is that the players in the WNBA want to have a pegged revenue number the way they have it in the NBA. And Adam Silver is saying no.
This phenomenon illustrates the drawing power she possesses. With this marking just the initial day of camp, more content and updates will likely emerge in the coming days regarding USA basketball activities. The organization surely recognizes her necessity for the international team roster. Her inclusion on Team USA for upcoming Olympic competition should be determined purely by basketball merit, free from any external considerations or politics.
And Adam Silver is saying no, because the NBA owners are saying no, because that's not taking into account all of the money that the WNBA owners need to profit and take off the table to pay down debt that has been accruing over the decades of losses. So that is why they're not having a meeting of the minds on any percentage.
Exactly, guys. They're in debt, and quite frankly, they're not generating the revenue, the same revenue that NBA players.
The sport itself should dictate these decisions without interference. The return of Clark to organized basketball represents a significant moment for the sport and its audience. The enthusiasm surrounding even limited practice footage demonstrates the connection between this athlete and basketball fans. As negotiations continue and preparation for international competition proceeds, attention will remain focused on her development and the broader landscape of the league moving forward.